Hey there fellow duels, welcome back to my channel. Today, got an incredible local deck to share with you all. It's a deck that already has been posted, but I thought I'd give you all an update. I have changed quite a few things in it. The Volcanic deck took on some heavy hitters this week. We had Branded Chimera, Infernobles, Marincess, and Red Eyes Dragon Link. But before we dive in, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on epic jank decks like this. So let's start by taking a quick look at the Volcanic deck. I've always loved explosive plays, control options, making it a force to be reckoned with. This deck is actually pretty good. It's not like top tier, but it did take out 2 national qualifying decks this week. Both players have their invites, and both players are playing the deck they got their invites with. So let's go ahead and hop on in. First of all, we got 3 Volcanic Shell. This is really good. With Blaze Accelerator, you can just keep pitching these and reloading your hand to keep popping cards. Next would be Volcanic Rimfire. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate 1 of 2 of its effects. You can only use each of its effects once per turn. So the first one is to banish it from your graveyard, then send a Volcanic from your deck to the graveyard. Or you can banish a face-up Blaze Accelerator card, and then activate a spell or trap Blaze Accelerator from your deck. Really good. Honestly, the MVP of the deck and all night was Volcanic Scattershot. Has the effect of when it goes to the graveyard, you can actually inflict 500 damage to your opponent. But if it was sent via a Blaze Accelerator, you can send the other 2 from your hand and or deck to the graveyard, destroy all your opponent's creatures, and then they're going to take 500 for each Volcanic Scattershot in the graveyard. So when that effect goes off, they take 1500. Like that's wow. Then we have Volcanic Trooper. When he is normal or special summoned, you can take 1 Volcanic card from your deck and add it into your hand. Really good for just kind of finding what you need. If you need a Blaze Accelerator, or you're like, hey, I want to do my Scatter Shot so I can set up some funky combos, he's really good. You can also discard a card and give your opponent a bomb token. Has 1000 attack, 1000 defense. You can choose its position, but when it dies, they take 500. Volcanic Counter. This card is sneaky, guys. This is really good in my opinion, but it's super sneaky. When you would take battle damage, you could banish this from your graveyard, and your opponent will take that battle damage as well. You still take it, but then your opponent gets it. And I'll explain what happened in my final match with this. 2 Volcanic Rockets just let you go and add a Blaze Accelerator card from your deck to your hand. Still really good. If you're just missing that Trooper, this will substitute in. I actually run 2 Volcanic Emperors. This has come up more often than I would like to admit. Having 2 is just nice. Forcing your opponent to burn 500 for each when they special summon is awesome. Even just having 1, I had a triple tax taken away from me, so I just summoned another one, and it frazzled my opponent, so he forgot what he was doing. It was just jump scare Volcanic Emperor. It was awesome. 1 Inari to help facilitate the OTK. Of course, 3 Ash. I like running 3 Ash. I do run the Drolls in the sideboard just in case I need to swap out, but 3 Ash are now the main. 2 Blaze Accelerator. You need something to banish with, or send to the graveyard with the Volcanic Blaze Accelerators. You have to send a Blaze Accelerator from your deck, hand, or field to the graveyard to activate this. You can only control 1 of these at a time. This has 2 effects that are both soft once per turn. The first one is you are able to special summon a Volcanic from your hand, and then you can send a level 1 Volcanic from your deck to the graveyard to target a opponent's face-up monster and destroy it. So it's real simple. It's real easy, real nice. Again, Rimfire can just go activate Rimfire, banish this one, activate another one. So that way you get the soft once per turn. So then we also have 2 fire ejections. I'm on the edge about these ones. This enables the OTK, but it just basically is used as like a foolish burial for like Rimfire or something. You can send 1 power from your deck to the graveyard, and then if it's Volcanic, you can apply 1 of these effects. The biggest thing is you're going to give your opponent a bomb token, or you're going to inflict 100 damage times the level of the creature sent. So like you send Emperor, it's 800 damage. Send Rimfire, it's 1. 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This card really is like catches my opponent off guard more often than not. Just send a spell trap card to the graveyard, and I'll explain that one here in just a moment as well. 2 Pot of Extravagance. I really don't use the extra deck. The extra deck is not used a whole lot. The cards I do have of it, I run 3 of each, so I play a little bit of gambling. But drawing 2 is always good, or it's an Ash bait. 2 triple attack talents. This came up just a couple times. I like ripping cards out of my opponent's hand when they ashed me. Or, oh, that's a really big creature. I'm going to take that creature and clear up a way to just get some damage in. This actually won me a game. 1 triple attack thrust. I just like seeing this on the off chance. I played it like a single time, and it actually helped me win the game. We have 1 Volcanic Emission. This card is really good for Volcanics. It allows you to special summon a Volcanic from your deck, ignoring summoning condition. So you can go Surprise Emperor, or you can like put out a Volcanic Trooper to help get like another card for next turn setup and such like that. Or you can target a Pyro on the field. If you target your own, your opponent takes half the original attack. Or if you target a Pyro your opponent controls, they take full damage. So if they had triple tactics to your Emperor, you go, okay, cool, take 31. So it's a little bit of punishing, just gotta be careful when you do it. Volcanic Inferno. This one is basically your creature negate. You can banish a Volcanic from your graveyard. You'll negate their creature's effect, and they'll take 500. At the end of your opponent's turn, you can take up to 2 of your banished or Volcanics in your graveyard and put them onto the bottom of the deck. So it helps with recycling. It also helps they like banish your Emperor from the graveyard with like a DD Crow or something. Just put it back. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put it back. And then we have 2 Blaze Accelerator Reload. This was the card I actually decided to go up on. This card won me multiple games. For the sheer fact of, oh, I discard and then I draw a card. If I just discard a Volcanic, I draw a card. That's awesome. That counts for Scattershot's send effect. Like, cool, I'm going to send it to the graveyard, draw a card. Scattershot, chain 1, chain 2 on the burn, and send 2 others. The sending is cost as well, so your opponent can't even stop that. But then they wipes all their creatures. It's also a trap, so I can just do it during my opponent's turn. Awesome. While it's in the graveyard as well with like a Foolish Burial, I can just banish it from my graveyard during the main phase, send a Scattershot from my deck to the graveyard, do it again. Like, it's awesome. Like, being able to really like cycle your Scattershots with Blaze Accelerator and Inferno is awesome. Takes a little bit to set up, but the grind game is there. And then for the final card of the main deck, it's Spiritual Fire Art Kurenai. Again, this is part of the OTK. If you guys wanted a tutorial on that, make sure you comment down below and leave a like. At like 25 likes, something like that, I'll do a full combo tutorial on the OTK. Alright, let's move on into our side deck. We got 3 evenly. This was actually not too good for me. Decks that I was going against, I would have much rather have had like a Book of Moon. So these will be coming out for Book of Moons. Draw and Lockboard, just for those matchups of like heavy combo decks. Like this really shuts those down when they keep adding cards to hand. That just stops it. Again, for heavy combo decks, Nibiru. Like, nice 5 summons. I'm gonna Nibiru that, and then I'm gonna use a Nari to fling all that damage into your face. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Goes in match for when I'm feeling really cheeky. I'll give my opponent a bomb token and then flip goes in match. They're locked into fires. So unless they can get rid of that bomb token somehow, they're locked into fires. And then 3 Karakuri Divine Incarnation. Still going with the fire theme. Love this card. If I can just get my opponent to like bait out a bunch of things, this I put in when going second. If I can get them to just bait out like negates, such like that, slap that down, remove a bunch of creatures, and just swing in for heavy game. We'll go into the extra deck now. The extra deck is something that I don't really use. I got to use Hida, the Fire Charmer, a little bit. I took their Dogoron out of the graveyard. This is part of the FTK, or the OTK, or whatever, the Relinquish Anima. This came up a lot without the OTK. Just link 1, put it here, target your creature, equipped it. It was actually clutch. Like, people do not respect the Anima zones. They don't respect them at all. 3 Salmon Great Almirage, just in case I need to get rid of like a Rimfire or something if I don't have a Blaze Accelerator to start us off. Normal summon Rimfire, link it off, Almirage, Rimfire effect, send to the graveyard, such like that. Nightmare Unicorn came up once. I was able to spin a dragon back to the extra deck and just extra deck and just get rid of it. Just didn't want to deal with it. 2 Nightmare Phoenix again came up because I just didn't want to deal with the spell and trap. 1 Sunlight Wolf in case I do go for the FTK. This is really nice, helps get rid of the Inari off the field and uses that. 1 Underworld Goddess, just in the sheer fact of sometimes I can surprise Goddess somebody. 2 IP Masquerade to help facilitate that Goddess. And then 1 Divine Arsenal Zeus because I can. Don't you tell me what I can and can't do. I use you as fodder. So let's go around and let's talk about how locals went. So my first matchup was actually Branded Chimera. Game 1, he ended up just making a single Ice Jade, which I was able to remove, and then basically just beat his face in. Game 2, he was able to set up a little bit better of a board, but then once again, Scattershot came in clutch and wiped his field. Took 1,500, and then he had no way to recover after that. He just unfortunately just wasn't able to recover. And every time he put out another creature, I was like, yeah, pop. Or Blaze Accelerator, pop, 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 and just go down his board. So I took him out in game 1 with that. Game 2, this was the first national qualifying deck that this deck beat. Was Infernobles. Shout out to my boy, Team COG. It was an epic game. Unfortunately, I cannot rip our duel from his stream. His phone freaked out as he was streaming and froze the last half of our duel. I basically was down, like I was basically guaranteed dead. He was at 400 life points. I had a single scatter shot in my hand and I was like, I have to find a way to get him to use his Charles and his Barone before I normal summon his scatter shot. And so I ripped the top card. It was extra Foolish Burial. I immediately was like, yes, I did it. Volcanic Emperor in Graveyard, banish 3 to special summon. You cannot stop that. That's a summoning effect. Special summons him, chain 1 for his effect. He chained Barone to negate and destroy. I was like, that's fine. Activate Foolish Burial Goods. He was like, okay, use Charles to negate and destroy that. Fine, that's what I wanted. Normal summon Scattershot. Looks at me, looks at it, and go to battle, swing at your Gamma Seal. You take 500, I take 1100, I win. Because he was only at 400, and he was scrambling, he was like, even if I pop that one with Charles's effect, it doesn't matter, I take the 500. And I was like, yep, when he goes to the graveyard, you take 5. So that was a really close game. Oh my god, my brain hurt so hard after it. It was a long duel, it was awesome. I'll see if I possibly can get some of that game up for you guys a little bit later. But basically, I was going to play defensively, use Blaze Accelerator Reload to control the field and gradually just whittle them down. But those games were hyper explosive or they were grind games. After that, I did take my first loss for the night. I lost to Red Eyes Dragon Link. Really cool deck. It utilizes mostly Lupellion and stuff like that. Still a lot of Dragon Link stuff, but it tends to end on a bunch of Red Eyes Flare Metals where you're taking 1,500 just for activating something. Really cool. Unfortunately, just bricked. Like I was able to build a house with these bricks. Like opened like 2 ashes and like a fire thing, and just wasn't able to go anywhere. So unfortunately, that was our one and only loss. After that, we went into the final round where I faced my second national qualifying deck. This duelist got his national qualifiers and used this deck at locals tonight. He was doing great. I think he only lost 1 as well. So I was like, all right, let's make it 2 losses for you. So basically he was playing Marincess. So I did pretty basic Marincess things. But what he forgot to respect. Game 1 I got, game 1 he got. Game 2 I got. I was able to grind him out and just burn him. But game 3, the man forgot to respect the Volcanic counter. He had made bubble because I drolled him, and then so he had a big bubble, and I triple tactics took it, and I had like a 1900 beater. It was the Volcanic rocket actually right there, bam, with magic. Volcanic rocket, and took his bubble with triple attack talents, did a boatload of damage, went to his turn, flipped my mission, played an emperor. He was taking a bunch of damage. He was able to get rid of my emperor and my volcanic rocket. I flipped Blaze Accelerator, pitched the volcanic counter to the graveyard, and drew a card. It was an Ash. He went to go search them, went Ash. He was able to get rid of this as well. I can't remember with what. I think it was just a normal creature. He just swung. This wasn't on the field. He just swung in with like a 4,300. Thank God I was at 8K. He was like 43. Go to main phase 2, and I was like, I have a response, or I have a chain. Banish for cost of volcanic counter. You'll take 43. You're at 19. He just looked at me, looked at the card, picked up the card. You saw him read it. He just sets it down and goes, "Good game." And so you gotta respect the volcanic counter in the graveyard. This card actually has won me a lot of games, even just in test playing and such like that. So that pretty much wraps up our locals, fellow duelists. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my epic duels against the Red Eyes, Dragon Link, Marincess, Infernobles, and a brand Chimera. Again, our locals was a lot of fun. We beat 2 national qualifying decks and the duelists that got their invites. If you did enjoy all this, don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Keep dueling, keep winning, and stay tuned for more exciting Yu-Gi-Oh content. See you in the next one.